Welcome in, everybody. What is going on? It's the Honolulu Blues Show, as always, hosted by the three best boys in the nation. Myself, Adam Stark, Julius, and Nick. We got a heart broken, a heart torn apart, a heart heavy, a big old sad sorrow, whatever type of show you want to call it. But yeah, we're going to be talking Matthew Stafford Super Bowl, in the agony that is. And I guess maybe if you're happy about it, then so be it. But we'll get into that. But first, you guys can check us out now on iTunes and Spotify. Give us a like, subscribe, review, whatever it is on that platform. We love it all. Negative or positive reviews, we love it all. And always check us out on Twitter, Honolulu Blues _ and we got all your Detroit Lions needs. But boys, Julius, I feel like you got the most on your mind after the Super Bowl. I think we know what Nick's feeling, but Julius, oh man, what do you feel in a couple days post Matthew Stafford win the Super Bowl?
All right, 48 hours post Matthew Stafford Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie, I took it pretty tough. I know everybody in the Honolulu Blues community probably saw my tweets. I did not believe he was gonna win that championship in his first season away from the Lions until he won it. And the moment he won it, I was like, wow. And I ain't gonna lie, I was hurt. I was hurt because it just is another blow, that I've had from this franchise, time after time. I'm only 32 years old. Some people have been a fan of this team for decades.
I'm only 24, Julius. I still got more pain
and you've got uppercutted and socked with a left hook and socked with a right hook. And this is just the cherry on top, pie to the face. Our whole fan base looked goofy to the rest of NFL. You had this whole Detroit Rams thing going, people trying to monopolize on the Stafford fanship that was coming from the Lions fan base. And I saw it coming a mile away, and I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. I really am, because I always liked him. I think he's a good guy. I think he's talented. And I knew he was capable of being a quarterback that can win a championship on a well-built team, and that's exactly what he did. However, I'm ready to move on from this because Matthew Stafford does not play for the Detroit Lions no more. And we got there's a whole plan going right now in Detroit right now that don't involve Stafford at all. Like we're thinking, who is our quarterback? Can we start talking about that more? So I'm happy for Stafford. I don't see it as a win. I'm pretty much over it though. 48 hours, I'm over it. I am. And next year, I don't even care. He went in. I think they got a pretty good chance to repeat. I think if they keep a lot of their core together.
I hope everyone retires, man. I hope Donald retires.
I hope so
retires. Hell, I hope Sean McVay retires.
I hope the Rams win 3 games next season. I said that at the beginning of this season, and I meant it. And everybody was surprised when I was all anti-Rams winning in playoffs for draft position for the Lions. I'm still that way for next season. I hope that they bomb out, but I'm over this. I'm ready to look forward to the offseason. Congratulations to Stafford. Go Lions for life.
Nick, that's not a Detroit Rams shirt you got on this.
Lions versus Rams.
Lions versus Rams. That's the shirt people should have.
I noticed the 05 logo.
Went back into the merchandise of week 5 or 6 or whatever and bought out all the Lions Rams crap you could buy, because you got them on the same shirt but separated, not together. You don't need a Ram Lion combination. There you go. Perfect.
Dude, Julius, you're in for a long show if you're done talking about Stafford. I'm pretty sure that's on the first 30 minutes of the slate here. Here's the big thing, though. I love that we just got this show rolling. 5 minutes in the show, this is the first thing I get to say.
There's not a lot of news. I'll touch in, but there's not a whole lot.
So the Stafford thing, right? Stafford's not a part of Detroit, but it still has this effect on Detroit in the sense of Stafford left and went and won a Super Bowl his first year. Detroit has been notorious for not allowing players to leave their organization with some of the greats to go be successful elsewhere. But we finally shown that we are able to do that. It really stinks that Stafford's time with Detroit was synonymous with William Clay Ford's, latter end of his life. Martha Ford, who didn't know what was going on. That was the two owners that he got in Detroit. Basically, any other owner probably would have had us winning a championship. It just was really bad. And then he's out right when Sheila Ford takes over, who, in my opinion, is changing the culture, is bringing in this atmosphere that we love to see. We finally see we're all super behind Dan Campbell. Sheila Ford did that, brought Brad Holmes in. Sheila Ford did that. She's changing this culture. It stinks that Stafford's time with us was in the 10-year slate, 12-year slate that was just the worst transition part of Detroit. Now, Detroit's always been bad, and we can blame William Clay Ford for the 50 years, but like Stafford didn't have anything to do with William Clay Ford for the first 50 years of him owning the Lions, 60 years. He only had him in the last 5 years of his life. And then it went to Martha Ford, who should have never been. There should have been some kind of plan B already put in place. And that's all on the Fords. But what this does, what Stafford going and winning that Super Bowl first overall does, is it shines a light that Detroit isn't this selfish organization anymore that like will just keep a player until they're 6 feet under. That we understand that we weren't going to win with Stafford. We gave him the option he wanted out, and we accepted that, and we did that. And we got a fair trade for him. Probably could have got more now that it's in hindsight, because it's always 2020. And I know I'm ranting. I'm going on this huge, long monologue about this, but the fact of the matter is people are going to see that, and they're going to be a little bit more accepting, I think. Not that they want to come to Detroit and then leave, right? That's never the goal. But you might be a little bit more okay with the franchise, knowing that they're realistic about everything, and they're I don't know. I think that this plays a little bit more than this is a little bit more under than what we're all thinking right now. Like, we're all thinking on top of the field. Let's think a little bit below. You know what I mean? Let's think outside the box.
I like it, Nick. But yeah, it's I agree with Julius on the part of, we're going to be done talking about it. I think we got to like the 7-book last page in the Matthew Stafford saga for Lions fans, at least. And we read the final sentences, and now we can close the book, put it back on our bookshelves, and, put it away and for 20 years. And then we can reminisce in 20 years and bring the book back out. But as of now, it's time to close that book up.
Real quick, guys. You know what's got to happen? This is what could happen. You know what could happen? Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell succeed in changing the culture / building the roster of the Lions quicker than anticipated, with a strong draft and strong free agency in year 2. And the Lions somehow make the playoffs, matched up against the Rams.
I'm glad you called that, because we're gonna have to come back to this, because
we're gonna come back to it. Happen. Don't mention it ever again. But listen up, if it happens, we're gonna come back to it. It's gonna be epic if that's the way this saga goes for the next term. If this isn't over, if the Lions don't just bomb out and suck, and Matthew Stafford gets another title next year, rides out to the Hall of Fame. If the Lions plan work and we can meet Stafford at this juncture, hey, we can come back to it.
Could you imagine Lions win the North because Packers just fall apart, the Bears aren't ready yet, the Vikings are just still in the middle, and we somehow win the North with 10-7, 11-6, and our wild card team is the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford comes back to Ford Field. Whew, that would be.
I would be very nervous going into that game. I'm not gonna lie, boys.
So would I, but man, it would be cool. I would have to root for it just because it would be just so crazy. But before we get into all the Stafford talk, let's dive into a little bit of the news that we had going on. The Chargers, or no, not the Chargers. The Saints brought in the Chargers linebacker coach. I didn't even know his name, but for defensive coordinator position, an option, which is good news for Aubrey Pleasant, who was brought in as well for an interview. So he's got some more competitions. Hopefully Pleasant comes back. I think the Saints defensive coordinator position is the final, interview ship he's got going. So that's good. Another Adrian Peterson, this was kind of cool. He said the sky is the limit for DeAndre Swift. It kind of just reaffirms all of our beliefs in that this guy is like the next best thing since Barry Sanders. And honestly, I think he's going to take it up another level next year. I'm stoked for it.
Did you hear about Adrian Peterson though? Getting thrown off the plane? I don't know if I'm just saying, boys.
Hey, he knows football.
Hey, Mary.
Thank you, Mom, for joining in from Cancun. Hopefully it's
from Cancun. What the heck are we doing here in Michigan?
I know, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. I guess we did. Christian Kirk was making some riffles in Lions news, possible free agent targets. What do you guys think about that?
Ooh, I haven't heard that, and I like that. I don't think Christian Kirk is the greatest wide receiver by any means. In fact, I would maybe even say he's slightly above Quintez Cephas with just better quarterback play and better opportunity and better health. And that's kind of why he's been more like fantasy relevant on a higher powered offense. But realistically, when I'm going, I think we have a lot of mid-tier free agent a lot of mid-tier wide receivers right now, excluding Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is not mid-tier. He is top tier. Outside of that, if we sign Reynolds back, if we sign Raymond back, if we don't sign either of those back, I'm very okay with adding Christian Kirk. But I don't know if Jared Goff would be the best quarterback for Christian Kirk. Yeah. I don't think we'd see the most success from Christian Kirk with Jared Goff. So I don't know. I'm gonna pass on that. I'm passing. I'm selling Christian Kirk right now.
I'm gonna sell Christian Kirk as well. I think he's like a poor man's Amon-Ra St. Brown, to be honest.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
I don't want to overpay. He could play
that 3 spot.
Yeah,
he's
a solid depth slot receiver. Solid, but I'm not about to pay him whatever I'm not going to pay.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like $5 million for him.
Yeah, Quintez Cephas. I think Brad Holmes is. They have a plan. I think they looking for a dynamic number 1 boss guy to go Amon-Ra. So I don't see Christian Kirk fitting into the puzzle, and especially for the price that he's probably likely to go for. I'm good.
I agree. And there's plenty other receivers out there that we could sign, and also in the draft as well that we can grab. But before we get back into the Stafford talk, let's announce the Matthew Stafford's jersey giveaway. So you can choose a Matthew Stafford Georgia jersey, a Matthew Stafford Lions, a Matthew Stafford Rams, whatever Matthew Stafford jersey you want. $100 value, not including tax. So it could, go up to like $112, $115, including tax. Don't mind that. But our winner is Tyler Steak 311. On his account, it's Tyler's Take is his name, but I don't know if it's Tyler's Take. I don't know if his last name is actually Take, and this is just like a sports.
That would be pretty badass, dude.
It sounds like a cool name. So if your name's Tyler's Take, that's kind of cool. If not, though, if you're just normal Tyler's a cool name too. So yeah, we will be in your DMs if you haven't heard this later on, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but we'll get you. Way to go, Tyler, for winning that.
What was his Twitter handle?
Tyler's TYLERSTAKE 311.
Man, I'm gonna go look him up. See what kind of man. If you got a name like Tyler's Takes, bro, I better be seeing some dope ass takes from you. Like, I want to be seeing some good stuff. You
might need a guest spot with them takes, man. You might have to hear something. Them dog days of the all season get dry.
Maybe.
All right, my man's been on Twitter for 4 years. He's got 1 follower. That's my boy right there. I like this guy.
That's all you need.
And that just shows you that anyone can win these giveaways that we do. Like, it's not about, anything, dude. Just shoot your shot. Get your chance out there. You never know what could happen. Way to go, Tyler. We're excited for you. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right, let's move on. Okay, boys, this is the biggest question. Nick, you kind of touched on it a bit, but I'll kind of jump back into it. And what does this Matthew Stafford Super Bowl victory mean for the Lions? And just like, is this going to set a narrative for players moving forward? Because the first thing that I thought of was, man, if we draft a good quarterback and he plays 4 or 5 years solid, wins maybe one playoff game, gets in the playoffs a couple times, and then his 5th year just says, you know what, this team hasn't done it for me. I'm out. I can't help but think that some guys might be thinking that. But I will say, if any players are smart and they have any type of common sense, they will realize this is a completely different regime, organization, coaching staff, everything. So if you want to base yourself off history, then fine, so be it. But hopefully the players can see that Dan Campbell means business, Brad Holmes is a genius, and Sheila Fordham isn't as crazy and careless as her, parents.
Yeah, I mean, I won't reiterate everything I said. I think everyone who was listening earlier knows how I feel like this can help the organization in a way different light than anyone is really thinking about. Man, Matthew Stafford, that dude won a Super Bowl. I just want to draft a quarterback that's like Matthew Stafford, right? Like, if we can just get a guy who's like Matthew Stafford, that'd be all right with me, because that's kind of what I want. I think it could be a bad thing for Detroit. It could show teams that are like, wow, dude, like Detroit is so bad that Stafford played there for 12 years, couldn't get one playoff win, and then he left and won a gosh darn Super Bowl. He was on a super team. Maybe not everyone's gonna think. We'll see what people think, what players think when the top 100 comes out. We'll see where he's ranked in that.
That's gonna be really
that'll be a good kind of like telling of what peers really think of him versus Aaron Donald versus Cooper Kupp. And that's not just like fans. That's peers. So I think that'll be quite interesting. It could be a good thing, like I alluded to. It could be a bad thing because guys are just don't ever want to come here, because this like literally shows you can be the best player in the NFL, which right now Matthew Stafford is. He's the quarterback of the Super Bowl winning team. So I mean, I'm not gonna maybe Aaron Donald, but best offensive player. Well, maybe Cooper Kupp, but best quarterback in the NFL right now. He's couldn't win with Detroit. That could be a bad thing for free agents, but I don't know. Could be a good thing. We'll see.
See now, Julius. All right, before you get into your thought, I have another little question for you. Matthew Stafford joins the Lions as a rookie, putting a weird hindsight perspective into this. So we know what Stafford's career is going to be. He joins the Lions as a rookie. Do you think he gets a ring?
You mean
so like like with this regime?
Like, with this regime. I thought about that. Yeah. And that's a great question. And honestly, it's definitely possible. Can't nobody say for sure. And we all know, honestly, year 2, this next year 2 is the most important year for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, because I feel like it's the make or break. If they win 3 games next year, it's going to be just like you said, Nick. People are going to smell same old Lions. This is what the Lions don't need to do, though. Brad Holmes don't need to reach like Patricia and Bob Quinn did for Jamie Collins, Trey Flowers, overpaying these big name free agents just to try to kind of pursue something for Stafford that didn't work. He just needs to be smart in free agency. We have the money, we have the capital, intelligence, Brad Holmes. That's all we need. But a year 2 jump is going to solidify other players believing in like coming to the Lions. But we need a quarterback. We do. We need a franchise quarterback. And I don't think Goff is that guy. I really don't. But there's still the smallest chance that he is.
I don't know, I'm going to get off way topic here, but that's the problem. We're literally calling and seeing, like I've been saying this for a few times now. We're going to get into this predicament of we're going to lose a lot of games, and we're going to leave Campbell in and get rid of Goff, and then we'll have a rookie quarterback. And if we don't win a lot of games with a rookie quarterback, which is hard to do, then Campbell's going to be gone because that's 3 straight losing seasons, and you can't last that long in the NFL. right? But Campbell could be a great coach. We just gave him this really odd predicament with Jared Goff. Or Jared Goff goes and wins 8 or 9 or 10, 11 games, solidifies Dan Campbell's spot, but never gets to us to the peak and keeps us in this wild card range because all we can do is win 8 or 9 or 10 games because that is the most Jared Goff can do without an offensive genius like Sean McVay. Now, Dan Campbell could still come to be an offensive genius. Hell, when he took over play calling, our team looked way different. He beat good teams.
He was throwing in so much trickery and like stuff that you would see out of Andy Reid playbook.
Yeah,
it was making me happy.
So exactly, Dan Campbell could be the Andy Reid coach. He can be. What I don't want to happen is for us to never find out because we kept Goff and Goff won us 5 games next year. And we get a rookie quarterback who wins us 4 games the year after. And hell, we keep Campbell for one more in that sophomore year. Maybe he only wins 8 games. And at that point, it's like, well, Dan Campbell, he just can't win get rid of him and get the next guy. And then this poor quarterback is going through another offensive coordinator change, head coaching change, and he's right back in the same cycle that Matthew Stafford was just in. And that every quarterback and coach that we've had, they've never been on the same wavelength. We've never had we've never had the new coach, new quarterback, same time, and then it like work out. They're always in these weird phases. And that's what I'm super scared about, us keeping Jared Goff this year and not attacking the quarterback position this year, even though these quarterbacks think, wait till next year. Well, what if Goff wins 11 games? Then we don't draft him. We paid Goff a ton of money because he won 11 games for Detroit and won us the first division title in 35 years. But is Goff ever going to win the Super Bowl? Just like Julius said, probably not. Probably not. He had maybe one of the best opportunities with the Rams, in my opinion, and he didn't get it done. So I don't know. I think it's a really weird limbo we might be in, like, and all of us are just kind of, no, it won't happen to us. Like that within 2 years, this is what we're going to be talking about, and I don't know why we're not addressing it more. But that's just me. That was a long rant, off topic. I'm sorry. I just had to get that.
I will say what Goff could do for us. Either he wins 8-9 games and he solidifies Dan Campbell, or he shits the bed and gets us into a spot where we could either get Bryce Young, get CJ Stroud, get whoever is legit, because there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out in the 2023 class. And even if we don't have that spot, we'll still have that Rams pick, which should be enough to move us up a couple picks, unless, the quarterbacks are going crazy and it's like 1, 2, 3 like a couple years ago.
And in that scenario, now Dan Campbell has won 8 games in 2 years. Are we not just sitting here talking? Are we sitting here just saying it was all Jared Goff? It was all Jared Goff. It was all Jared Goff. Or are we now sitting here thinking, well, crap, is our coach not good enough? Because that's like, this is that cycle.
Yeah.
Right? So Jared Goff does poop the bed. Then Dan Campbell is next to blame because it's just quarterbacks and head coaches, only 2 that get blamed. And then owners are third, or GMs are third. So I don't want to be in that predicament, but I also don't want to be in the predicament where I'm keeping Goff either. Like I just want to get a quarterback right now. I just want to draft Malik Willis, dude. Just draft Malik Willis. That's it.
Yeah.
That ends everything.
Then honestly,
win with him.
I think it does. Hopefully we could just somehow. We're in such a weird position of either
weird limbo spot
right at the beginning. Well, not just that, but the draft position wise, we're right in the beginning and right at the end. And it's like Malik Willis is probably going right in the middle. So we got to either do something to trade up, trade back. I don't know. We're going to
have the balls to make the play for your franchise quarterback. And don't be scared about the armchair Twitter, us, all 3 of us. Don't be worried about us or anyone that has anything to say about the Lions on Twitter and Reddit and Facebook. All those people don't matter. Brad Holmes, be the smartest man. Go get your quarterback that's going to win you a bunch of games. We got way off tangent. I'm sorry, Adam. That's my fault.
It's Lions talk is honestly probably better than Stafford talk at this point. But still a couple more things to talk about with our old boy Matthew. Julius, let's get to you first. Is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer? Did that do enough? Or for me, I think he's like on the path. Like if he all goes well, he'll make it. But if he, body breaks down, has a terrible season, something goes wrong, and he doesn't have another good season, another good 2 seasons, think so, but as of right now, I think he's on course.
You're right, Adam. And it depends on how his career ends. How old is Stafford again?
30,
34?
like, yeah.
35? Forgot. But his last, whatever he has left, if it's disappointing, like say that the Rams miss out on the playoffs next year and Stafford leads the league in interceptions again, and or he's dealing some injuries, or age start to catch up with him, anything could happen really, and then there'd be a lot more question mark to his career, like Eli Manning and those kind of guys. But if he wins another Super Bowl, he's in. 2 Super Bowls is a lock for Stafford, no matter what.
I hope that second one comes 2024, not 2023. Because could you guys imagine back-to-backs? I don't even want to talk about it, bring it up, and bring it into the realm of possibilities. But hopefully, if all goes well, the Rams are just terrible next year. They have players retire. Stafford isn't himself, and he's just the bad Stafford all season.
Top 10 pick.
And baby, yeah, top 10 pick. And honestly, I think everyone's happy in that scenario. Stafford gets his ring. We get a top 10 pick and another first rounder. All, goes well as long as we can hit on these 2 picks. I think Detroit should be, no one should have a problem with, Stafford win the Super Bowl. At least, not a problem, but like feel bad about it.
Stafford can come back to Detroit and make like a LeBron James type return to Cleveland, win the title. Cleveland, this is for you, yelling in the sky. Last hoorah, John Elway-esque to his career, if he wants to. And Detroit will welcome him with open arms. But that's several years down the line. We don't know how that's going to go. I'm just being a funny prophet.
Nick, not Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, is he a Hall of Famer?
Let me answer that question by asking you boys a quick yes or no question. I don't need any response other than yes or no.
Question with a question.
Is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
No, but I know where you're going with it.
Okay, Julius?
No, he's at where Stafford was before he won the Super Bowl.
Got you. So Matt Ryan has more passing touchdowns in his career than Matthew Stafford by 47. Now, he's been in the league one more year, but by 47, he's got more passing touchdowns. Second active to only Aaron Rodgers. Matt Ryan leads all active quarterbacks in passing yards. Remember, one more year than Matthew Stafford, but 10,000 more yards. Matt Ryan has a Most Valuable Player award, MVP. Matt Stafford has a Super Bowl. Now, I would probably say that the MVP is harder to get than the Super Bowl. But it could be argued either way. That's the debate. To me personally, I don't think either of them need to be in the Hall of Fame right now. I don't think Phillip Rivers needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And even though Eli has 2 Super Bowl rings, I do not think he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I think the Hall of Fame for the NFL is a popularity vote. And it's whoever's been the most popular at their position. Now, Richard Sherman came out and gave this big ordeal, big tweet. And I don't technically agree with the way that he worded it. Right? He was like 1 Pro Bowl, 0 All-Pros. Why would he get in the Hall of Fame? Well, that's because he played for Detroit. Dude had like 4,800 yards and 50 touchdowns one year and didn't go to the
didn't get the Pro Bowl.
So that's Pro Bowls are, you do not base your Hall of Fame status off of another popularity vote in Pro Bowls. Why Matthew Stafford never made All-Pro, even when he put up 5,000, or did he? I think he made it one year, and that was when he put up 5,000. But why he didn't make it when he had 4,800 yards, 48, 50 touchdowns. He didn't make All-Pro. He didn't win MVP. That's just because he played for Detroit. So you can't base it off that. However, you can look at this, and you can look at who a Hall of Fame player is. Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Fame player. Guy never had a losing season in his entire career in the NFL. Went to the playoffs damn near every year in the NFL. Won 2 Super Bowls. That's a Hall of Fame player. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And just because quarterbacks are spotlighted on ESPN, just because one wins a Super Bowl, does not mean you go to the Hall of Fame. Now, he had a great year. He's been a great quarterback. He's put up some unbelievable yards. He's been the passer for the top 2 leading wide receiver years. Like, all those are amazing. He has amazing stats. Right now, he is above everyone. He is above Matt Ryan, in my opinion. He's above Phillip Rivers. He's above Eli to get into the Hall of Fame. But he hasn't done enough to get in. And you can be the best to not get in. There's going to be people that are the best to not get in. I don't know. If we're giving Matthew Stafford a Hall of Fame nod right now, then why is Trent Dilfer not in? He didn't put up the same stats. All right, but he won a Super Bowl. And that's what we're basing this on right now. Because we're saying no to Matt Ryan, who's got better stats than Matthew Stafford, but yes to Stafford because he won a Super Bowl. Well, then, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. There's Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. Like, winning the Super Bowl is like you just got hot. And it's great, and it's amazing. And it does put a huge stamp on Stafford's, certification on his resume. If he gets a second Super Bowl, guaranteed it. Probably first ballot. But right now, I don't think he is Super Bowl bound. Probably will get in because the NFL, by the time that he retires and gets in the NFL, like in the Hall of Fame, there'll be like 4 more spots, 5 more spots. They're just trying to fill it in. They bought this big place and they're trying to fill it all out. But it really does stink in 2014 that we had 3 possible future Hall of Famers, and I'm going to include Ndamukong Suh in that.
Yeah,
Ndamukong Suh is very possibly not a first ballot by any means, but a very good contender to get into the Hall of Fame.
He's been to 3 Super Bowls and has a ring.
He has a ring. Darius Slay gets to the Super Bowl and wins one. He could be in the Hall of Fame. That could be 4. Matt Prater wins the freaking Super Bowl. Hell, the NFL's letting anybody in. He might get in. That's 5. This is the difference of coaching right here. Give Sean McVay that 2014 Lions team. We're winning Super Bowl 3 years in a row. We gave the keys to that team to old vanilla Jim Caldwell, and we followed that up with more vanilla Matt Patricia.
No, it was like freaking. What is the worst ice cream
dirt?
in the world?
Dirt ice cream.
Freaking.
What is the worst ice cream? Whatever that
so you
is.
guys know. You guys have you ever played that little Harry Potter? Harry Potter is the most common, but it's the jelly bean game. You spin the little.
Oh
thing.
yeah, those
it lands on like
beans,
barf popcorn.
Yeah.
We had
Booger.
like vanilla. We landed on vanilla, and then we landed on barf.
Yes, that's what happened, and that's why I feel bad for Stafford. But I'm just saying that team, man, had 3-4 future Hall of Famers.
And now we spun again, and it's looking like we have landed on our blue raspberry. So all goes well. Julius, I see you shaking your head over there.
Listen. Matt Patricia was like he was like the ear sweat on his pencil. That just think of the stench from that, or like.
That is disgusting.
I have nightmares about the way he used to look up at the scoreboard late in the game while they're down by like 25. Yep. Just like that, Nick. Just like that. Just looking at it like, why does the scoreboard look that way? And I remember the whole sideline just looking dead. I'm so glad.
Poor Stafford had to sit through that, dude. Like,
yeah.
I think that was the main reason why he bailed halfway through one of the seasons. He was just like, nah.
He was just, man, I can't do this.
Yeah, he went through too many regimes.
I don't blame him.
He didn't want to give one more chance at his age.
He is never gonna see another regime. Isn't that crazy to you guys? He'll never have a new head coach, in my opinion.
Hey, while we're getting pretty deep into the show, though, let me just say this real quick. Brad Holmes needs to get a plaque and a statue presented from Matthew Stafford personally for delivering that man. He could have traded him to the Dolphins, Carolina.
Yes.
He could have traded him anywhere, and Stafford would have rolled out his career with some trash team. No, he traded him to the best option, the most built-up roster to do it, and he was responsible for like 60 to 70% of the
players
on the Rams roster anyways. Cooper Kupp, all these guys. Brad Holmes needs to get a ring from the Rams.
Oh, I wonder if they do send him one. Actually, I've heard of stuff like that.
It depends how much. Well,
I mean, I know he didn't play, but they might do like probably not. He probably wouldn't even want it or accept it, but that would be I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe I'll keep my eye out for that.
Yeah.
Probably won't happen though.
All right, real quick before we wrap up the Stafford talk, let's talk about a couple other greats and Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders. Do you guys think after both of them watching Matthew Stafford win a Super Bowl, do you think they thought, damn, I wish they would have traded me?
Oh, yeah. I think they thought that before the Super Bowl. I think they thought that when they retired. I think that's why they retired, and that's why they cut their careers short. They didn't want to play for Detroit ever. Neither of them.
But I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think they think more, and even Stafford, even tonight, 48 hours, sleeping in his bed, tight, nice and tight, probably got another little girl Stafford on the way from the Super Bowl celebration.
I said that earlier.
He thinks like if maybe somehow they could have made it work in Detroit, and I'm sure Calvin thinks that, and they just got we just talked about it. They got unlucky, man. They got unlucky with the front.
Calvin Johnson hated Detroit. Still kind of probably not Detroit the city, but the organization. Barry Sanders hated the organization.
Winning cures all, Nick. Winning cures all. Okay. Yeah. Once somehow, God forbid, Dan Campbell succeeds, they're gonna all come back. We're gonna give each other a big hug and be like, "This is what the Lions is all about." Okay. We all coming together when times finally get great.
I hope so, man. That's the cool part. All we need is like one Super Bowl win to like erase every bad, not just Detroit Lions, like every bad Detroit moment in like Detroit sports history. And a Lions Super Bowl victory would the Thanos snap.
Boys,
it'd be the start of a new civilization.
Hey, I know. one playoff game.
Since 1958. But man, we're coming up on 100
championships in like the early 50s. Come
on. We're like past our midlife. We're coming up on 75 years old since we've freaking won. We've won one playoff. What are we talking about? Super Bowls for? Yeah, to erase everything. One playoff win would start to erase everything. Boys, a division title would start to erase some of this Detroit-ish that's going on out there. We just need something. Our city's dying, and our best team, the damn Detroit Tigers, aren't even getting the freaking opportunity to play because the owners don't know what they're doing. Detroit, man, I swear to God, the MLB looked at Detroit. They were like, they're about to win a goddamn World Series. Cut the league. Cut it now. We are not having baseball until the Tigers lose some of those prospects they got. It's crazy.
100%. All right. Close that book up. Enough of Matthew Stafford. That should be about the end of it.
Bye, Matt.
Podcast for us. It was great. Fun run, Matthew. Congrats on the Super Bowl win. But that's all we have for you. Let's talk some keep cut free agency Lions preview. As you guys know, we have a few guys that we could cut and save some money. There's also a few guys that you probably didn't expect. So I'm just going to list them off, the guys that we could cut this year to save some money. And you guys tell me, would you keep them or cut them? So the first one, the big granddaddy, Trey Flowers. He could save us around $16 million, but we would guarantee him $7 million if he was cut. I want to say if he plays with us, he gets, I think it's like $14 million. So, boys, keep or cut on Trey Flowers?
Cut. He's leftovers from that sweaty pencil I just described moments ago. And that sweaty pencil needs to go. Trey Flowers, have a great career elsewhere. Save money too easy.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd be paying him $23 million if we kept him. That's a lot.
Cut him. Let Julian and Romeo run the left side. Let Aiden run the right side. If we get him, knock on wood. And goodbye, Flowers. Thanks for 2 freaking hands to the face against the Packers.
That was Jamie Collins that did the headbutt. But either way.
Yeah, it was Jamie Collins.
No, the David
I can't believe he freaking pushed the ref. What a terrible.
The David Bartari hands to the face. That was Trey Flowers' shining moment in Detroit. Thanks.
Unfortunately.
Great. Next up, this one hasn't been brought up a whole lot, but Big V. He is where? Hold on. He is. Oh man. He is. We could say 4.2 million if we cut him. He's likely going to be cut in 2023. We would save 7.6 million if we cut him next year. So if we don't cut him this year, he's for sure going next year. So boys, Big V keeper cut. Julius, let's start with you first.
It depends, to be honest. If we have a contingency plan via the draft or free agency, I'm sure he's easily replaceable for a cheaper price even. So as much of an influence as he has been to Penei Sewell, and he had a decently average season this past year, especially run blocking. I mean, I'm good with the cutting.
I'm probably going to say cut to a lot of players today, but I'm going to keep Big V. Kind of because Julius did just allude to it. He did have an average season, and we went through an extreme injury plague through our offensive line. And some of those times we showed that our depth wasn't great. Matt Nelson was good, and there's Brown, I can't remember his name right now, but he was good.
Evan Brown.
Thank you. He was good, not great. Big V played a pretty good role at right guard. I don't think he's the future at right guard, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the depth. I'm okay with just keeping him. Like, we're not reset. We're just keeping him, pay what we owe him, and next year when we can save $7 million, maybe. Yeah.
I agree. And, and then even if he does, he knows he's due. So he will get 8.7 this year if we keep him, and then he's due 10.7 next year. So a $2 million bonus if he, stays the course, plays better, and which, this is a dude that has the potential to do it. We just haven't really seen all of it yet.
An offensive line is a lot about chemistry. It's not just a plug in and let him go. And it becomes that way because there's a lot of injuries that happen in the trenches. But ultimately, I feel like the best teams have the most chemistry at offensive line. The most games started with each other. We saw the Bengals really succeed with a really terrible offensive line. But at the end of the day, we saw Aaron Donald attack the right guard with literally the same position we're talking about right now and just bulldoze them for the game-winning set. So I don't think he's great again, but I just think offensive line chemistry. You keep him with Jonah Jackson at left guard, Ragnow in the middle, Decker and Sewell on the sides. That team already has been practicing with each other, playing with each other. I think it could be a very solid offensive line. And that saves us a draft pick.
Not even to mention,
hey baby.
If you put Big V next to Sewell, which they're both playing the right side,
which is what they do, yeah,
that's just two gigantic bodies, and it's almost hard to be bad. And I feel with Sewell by him, it'll be like my Sewell's got my back. He could throw a jab there,
almost
and then Big V can handle.
Yeah,
so
a little crush to lean on.
I like it. This next guy, this is a tough one, man. Jamal Williams. We could save $3 million if we cut him. He was signed to a 2-year, $6 million, real simple deal with the Lions. But all in all, we could save $3 million if we cut him. If not, he will be due just $3 million.
Yeah. Julius is over here just cutting. He's just gutting the roster, and I like it. I think Jamal Williams is a great character, great person in the locker room.
How much does that chemistry mean to us is the question.
I think it means a lot more to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes than it does to us. I think for us, we all just want the best players, and Jamal Williams just isn't the best player. But I do think we kind of underestimate what happens inside that locker room more than not. I've said multiple times that we should cut Jamal Williams, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to continue to say that. I do kind of want to cut him, and I want to spend that third-round pick that we're saving on an offensive line on a new running back because I don't believe that Swift will ever be able to play 17 games in a year. I like Craig Reynolds, but I'm not 100% positive he wasn't just a flash in the pan. And I would love a guy like James Cook or Kenny Walker or Isaiah Spiller. If any of them want to drop to us, that would be amazing.
I do not want Kenny Walker. I don't care how late we get him. I don't want anyone competing with DeAndre Swift's time. I want to see a full.
Bro, you're not a Lions fan if you don't want Kenny Walker. Come on, dude. Him and Dan.
Could you imagine though? if just somehow, Walker, I doubt it. His combine's terrible or something, and he
All right,
slipped.
fuck it, bro. Let Hassan Haskins, bro. All right, I'm saying,
no. I'm saying, and we get Kenny Walker and Aiden Hutchinson. That would actually be. I think
that'd be real fun. That'd be real fun, actually. But no, not draft a running back this year. Actually, now that we're all saying this out loud, wait till next year. Get Central Michigan running back Lou Nichols. He'll be coming out next year. He'll be one of the best running backs that we've ever seen. Yeah. He's just under the radar right now.
Yeah, I agree. Next man up.
Wait, did we get Julius? Is he cut? Oh, he was cutting, right? You're cutting, Jamal? He don't even need to talk.
I don't need explanation, really. I'm cutting Jamal. I love Jamal. I love Swaggy P, but running backs are a dime a dozen. I also agree on using a mid to late round pick on a running back would be interesting. Jamar Jefferson coming back, Craig Reynolds coming back, Jamal Williams, who could save a little money. He's a tough runner, but he gives you what he gives you. So I'm cut.
I agree. And this next guy, I don't know if I cut you off, Nick. I switched pages. But this next guy, it's weird because he can save a decent amount of money. $2.5 million. That's Will Harris. And I think this is a no-brainer cut for all of us. No?
Cut.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot this year. I think whatever deal he did, he put himself he bet on himself. That's what I was trying to say, and it didn't really pay it off. He's set to make $2.5 million this year, and his dead cap cut is like $30,000. It's ridiculously cheap. So
big thing though. Go ahead, Julius.
Oh, you say go up? My bad. Hey, listen, Will Harris had his best season as a Lion, man.
Yeah,
he had his best season as a Lion this year. Don't matter. It wasn't good enough. It was not good enough for the price tag and this money we can save. And I'm ready for some fresh meat at safety. He did decent at that hybrid cornerback safety role. I'm sure we're going to draft or bring somebody in free agency to fill that role, but Will Harris will not be it.
And Tracy Walker is going to be a free agent and could be walking, right? They call him the old Walking Dead because Tracy Walker could definitely be walking. I couldn't think of something really funny to say right there. Anyways, if he does walk and we lose Will Harris and we cut Will Harris, our safety is depleted. And yes, drafting a safety would be great, but unfortunately, rookie safeties get burnt. That's a tough position to play as a rookie, even if it is Daxton Hill or Jaquan Brisker, and we get him early. I want to keep Tracy Walker if we're going to cut Will Harris. That's what I want to say. You know what I mean? Or if we're not going to keep Tracy Walker, I'm all right with bringing Will Harris back. Just keeping him on the roster and giving him a gosh darn another year to see what happens.
I heard that we're trading the Giants. We're going to trade down with the Giants to number 5. They're going to give us number 5 and number 7, and we're going to draft Kyle Allen.
Kyle Hamilton? Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton. I'm sorry.
If we drafted the quarterback, Kyle Allen from the Reds.
Kyle Hamilton.
That's what I want. And then we can get Malik Willis with the 7. Ba-boom. Ba-boom, ba-boom.
If we had to keep Tracy Walker or get somebody else in free.
Oh, all right, boys. So what we could do, Lions do have a few options if we, had to lose Will Harris and Tracy Walker. Here's the free agent safeties. We got Tyrann Mathieu, who I doubt would come here. Devin McCurdy, that's an interesting one. Quandre Diggs, that's big possibility. Marcus May of the Jets, Marcus Williams of the Saints, Jabril Peppers, that would be another good one. Jesse Bates, Kareem Jackson. There's Keanu Neal. There's some decent vets out here that we could go out and nab. So what I want, though, is to get Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell the most money possible to get their guys and to negotiate at their price.
That's a great idea. Cut anyone that Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia brought in and just let Brad Holmes buy his guys. And
exactly, his guys. Yeah. Slowly weed the guys out.
Bingo.
Not a bad idea.
Next couple guys don't really save a whole lot, but they kind of are interesting. Jayshon Cornell could save $900,000. Kind of a role play defensive lineman. Our defensive line has been beefed up quite a bit. I will say, I just don't know how much $900,000 means to a team. Like, is like a depth player worth, keeping him for $900,000, or, do you think that extra $900,000 could be used to extend a Manio or something like that. So, Nick, what do you think about some of these guys? That's the next couple of guys. They're all saved 900,000. So
I'm such an asshole, and I misheard. I heard everything you said except for the player that we were talking about.
Jayshon Cornell.
Oh.
That's probably why I missed it. You
I
probably
always
heard
had
the
like
name.
high hopes for him, but another Matt Patricia guy, cut him. Sorry.
I agree.
Also a cut for me. He just hasn't shown enough. Has been injury plagued. Move on. There's other prospects for the position he plays. Unfortunately,
I would trust an undrafted free agent from Brad Holmes rather than a 7th-round pick from Bob Quinn.
That's a great point. That's a great point right there.
we need to tweet that. Tweet that.
Has a good tweet. Yeah, we'll get
Tweet it.
And then actually,
Hashtag Honolulu Blues.
we're gonna go back in time, boys. We're gonna hit the time reverse button because I forgot a little news piece that I actually did want to talk about, but I totally forgot. And that is during the award ceremony, Andrew Whitworth came up on stage and told a story about how a young man at one of his camps said, "You made such an when he grew, Andrew Whitworth, grown up in the NFL, someone comes running up to him, and Andrew Whitworth has no idea who this guy is, and turns out to be Derek Barnes. And he says, you know what, your camp made such an impact on me, all this, good stuff, blah, blah, blah. And this is where I am today because of you. That meant a whole lot. So honestly, man, that was super cool to see that little moment, and just, a moment for all young kids to see that, I can make it. That could be me, talking to Pat Mahomes one day, when he's 40 or whatever. So very cool moment there.
I hope a lot of parents listen to that and understand that, yes, it might be expensive to send your kids to these like camps, and maybe nothing ever comes out of it, but maybe something does. Maybe my favorite thing was he said, Derek Barnes says to me, "I made it, Big Wit.
Yeah,
I made it." And I just, right there, I started to cry a little bit. And I was just like, he made it, dude.
That's
Way
cool,
to go, Big Wit. The oldest player in the NFL right now currently standing. Oldest player in the NFL with Tom Brady retired. And just a great dude. What a great – I hope he does retire because, this was just the greatest send-off. He played the team that he played for 12 years in the Super Bowl. I think we all talked about it. And then, he beats him 5 years later in the Super Bowl. That's just a great story.
And then not to mention, he got to wear his patch. So if he was set on retiring no matter what, he knew his body wasn't going to make it another year, he got to wear that Walter Payton patch one game, and it was the Super Bowl. So,
yep,
pretty cool.
Very cool.
But,
oh my gosh. What about the Super Bowl, boys? Real quick. How about the halftime show? Whoa, dude. First and foremost, 50 Cent. It may have ate a couple extra pound cakes, if you know what I mean. Will boy.
I think
Eminem,
that was more of a wife beater showing off what a wife beater really does.
He looked like me out there, bro. I should not be wearing a wife beater. That's not right, boys. It's not right. So Eminem killed it, though. Snoop killed it. Drake killed it. That show.
You guys see?
And freaking what's her name? I'm drawing a huge blank.
Mary J. Blige.
Thank you, Mary J. Blige killed it, dude. They all laid it down. I freaking loved it. I did wish Eminem sang any other song than "Lose Yourself," but I get that's just the song you sing at that moment. But to me, it's my least favorite song from him. But it was all really cool.
Eminem should have his own Super Bowl. Honestly, the performance, I was highly entertained. Some of the greatest artists of the genre. Mary J. killed it. Everybody performed well, I thought. It was super funny that 50 Cent snuck into the performance somehow. Of all people, that's not even on the bill, and this dude just hanging upside down and go, "Shorty, it's your birthday." It's just hilarious. But I thought it was a little clogged. I did. And it was a LA Super Bowl, LA Rams Super Bowl win in Inglewood. I would have been cool with just Snoop and Dre, and Kendrick, the LA people. I thought I really was entertained, though. I liked the map of Compton they were performing on, the whole setup. It was really cool. I liked it.
Dre playing the piano, that was sweet. But also,
cool.
What about The Rock? What did we all think about The Rock on the field as the game was starting?
That's LA. That's
electrifying, mouth dropping, sports entertainment. Like, what was going on with
They
that?
should have something like a celebrity announce every game, like just every game. You know, you're telling me you can't find one just A-list, B-list celebrity from your city to come out and be like, and today we have the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
you know, like,
it would be
Dwayne
Kid Rock
Johnson
every time.
is
You'd
the
get
highest
booed every
paid
time.
actor in Hollywood. He's like a Los Angeles icon right now, and it made sense. I don't expect that in Vegas or New Orleans or Phoenix, but in LA, it was a nice. I like that introduction the Rock did.
It was
I hope he
crazy.
introduces the Lions like that.
I can't believe he was on the field while they were about to kick off. Like that was like, I did like that, but I was a little off put by the selection of timing. Do that before the coin flip. Like, do that before do the national anthem and then have it lead into The Rock doing his thing.
That's why I didn't even realize that he did it like after all that, because I was kind of, running around getting food and stuff, and I just kind of was hearing him talk in the background, seeing it a bit. And yeah, I thought it was way before. So he was like, the teams were like kind of set up.
Yeah, they were lined up on the sideline. They were lit.
They were not on the sideline, dude. They were 11 players and 11 players. The kicking team was all just like waiting for him to finish, and he kept going. And it was cool. It was cool, but it was just like, dude, poor timing, in my opinion. Poor timing. And then lastly, Super Bowl commercials. Anybody have a favorite?
I thought it was a down year for commercials.
Me too.
I'm not going to list a favorite.
There was one I liked. I can't think of what it was.
None of them were memorable. 48 hours later, none of us can be like, oh, you know what's funny? It was this one. We may have had a couple ginger ales, but I sure as hell can't remember any of the commercials. And I was like, this kind of stinks, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely a down year.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I will say? The crypto commercials. They were weird. They had the LeBron James one. That was really weird when he had like the CGI LeBron.
Oh, his son. Yeah, like him is younger.
But
yeah,
it was like, no, I think this is. It was weird, but that one. And then they had. I thought it was kind of funny. They had the little like box going around the black screen that finally hit the corner, and it was literally just like a QR code that was just bounced around that took you to crypto.
I didn't see that. That I probably would have laughed at that one.
Yeah, but all right, boys. I think that's where we are going to wrap it up at. We will have more next week. I think next week we will likely do a free agency episode, as well as talking some players who are in contract years, including Amani O, Michael Brockers, some other good ones. But yeah, thank you all for joining. As always, we are the Honolulu Blues Show. Check us out on Twitter at @HonoluluBlues_. Give us a like, review, subscribe, whatever you're listening to on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it be. We love all the reviews, negative or positive. And as always, boys, you guys got any sign-offs? Go Lions. I mean, you can't really go Lions because I'm not really playing anytime soon. So
maybe, always go Lions.
Maybe we sign off with like a go Pistons, go Red Wings.
Go Shorty. It's your birthday. We're going to